Hi, everybody. It's the Steiger-Olson Report with Wayne Steiger and Steve Olson. Hello, Wayne.
Hello, Steve.
Can't get enough of this marathon key footage, can you?
I cannot, and actually, I am the one pushing this. So, for the record, I'm the one that am going to make this statement. Steve can make his own. But, Steve, I believe what we have here is, in my estimation, the most compelling evidence that something is happening to our sun and subsequently our solar system.
All right,
now,
Wayne, we'll present your evidence.
All right. I have stills of this, but for the record, so everyone knows what's happened here, I'm going to show you what I have done so that you can see is here I've slowed the anti-flickering, all motion, and spatial blur. I've come over here, I'm in the negative colors, and I've gone over here and in turn hit the sharpen. So you can now see, you can see where my gamma is set, my saturation, my contrast, brightness, and hue. You can see where my sigma is as well, so that everyone now knows what I'm looking at. For the record, what this camera is picking up, as all cameras do, in this particular filter, it is picking up heat. You understand, Steve? Heat. And the density of our colors are the heat signatures. All right? So the sun, obviously, is extremely dense, right? And
right. That's why it's really black in this filter, because it's the hottest thing up there.
It is. Now, I am saying that this is not a lens flare, nor is this. In fact, I found this video compelling on several fronts. Number one, what we have seen in so many pictures around the world is not the lens flare, but it is in fact coming. All right, so we're going to advance this as well. I have this down so that everyone can see. I go up here to my playback speed, and it is at 10%. I don't want to hit it because it will go down lower than that from here. Let's watch. Now, very important that you saw that those clouds were in front of the sun, right? It's the way it should be. Stop right there. These clouds are in front of this. These clouds are in front of this. These clouds are in front of this. And what's so interesting is that look at what's happened with that same little object. But it gets better, Steve.
Yeah, the lens flare didn't go away when the sun got covered.
Yeah. And so what happened here, again, is we talked about heat. This is where the clouds are. People don't realize that clouds are cool, and they'll show up on the camera as well. You can see. Watch this, Steve.
And okay, the clouds clear away.
Yep, clouds connected, but watch this, Steve. Watch the sun. Bingo. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, there is a reaction taking place right here, Steve. I don't know what it is, but there is a reaction building. Now watch. Right there, you see the density? Boom!
Whoa!
Let me explain.
Overwhelmed the camera completely.
It did, Steve, and look at the density of, when you see the densities of colors of this, folks, there has just been, I believe what we're seeing, Steve, is not in so much maybe in the IR, but in the UV.
Right, this is really bright, everybody. Remember, we've got the inverted color so that we can see other objects and things like that more clearly. And boom, that is super bright, super intense release of energy. I mean, just think of how much energy it would take.
It just overwhelmed the optics completely. Something happened here. I don't know what, But something happened here, Steve. And again,
what's telling to me is it seems like it's arcing to something in the back of it, and that field line ends right at the contour of what it seems like is another big freaking ass orb.
Yeah. So here's the normal. Here is, and again, we have just not figured out. And if you look at this and this are connected. It's a straight line.
Yeah.
Now watch. Steve, this is probably some of the most phenomenal footage I have seen. And when I got confused here, but look at, this is almost as though this object has an atmosphere.
Like a gas cloud type formation.
Yes.
Yeah. And its contour or its texture looks very similar to what we caught with our balloon flights.
This is not the sun.
You can point. It gives you variables to point with it.
And then let's look at our sun here.
Yep. Wow.
Steve, I don't think that and you can clearly see this again is connected to here.
I know.
So let's continue.
Yep.
All right. In the coming frames, I cut it off.
Oh my.
There it is, folks.
That is
now main program, right, Steve?
Yep.
And this is turning the gamma almost to 0. So if there's anything that's going to be really picked up, it's going to be solid. You know what I'm saying? It's got to have some sort of density to it. Otherwise, the gamma would just take it out. Look at this. This has an atmosphere, and you can see here clearly now. Look at that, Steve. That and that.
Unbelievable. Oh my gosh, it's just wow. And then again, that is proving right there that there's a reflection going on there somewhere, on that orb. There's no other way to say it.
No other way of analyzing this, Steve. And there is the explosion. And folks, look what it did to the camera. I mean, the camera picked up waves here, Steve.
Yeah, even the camera had to just stop its exposure. And it was picking up.
It overwhelmed the optics.
Yeah, it did. It just shut it out. It shut the aperture off.
Look at this.
Wow. And then look at the tendril on top.
Yes, look at this. Here and here.
What the?
It's almost as if, Steve, it's either discharging or trying to connect. I don't know which. Probably both.
Probably both, for all we know. Right.
But
like a little plasma tornado.
Yep. Now here is again, we added just a hair of gamma.
So we can see more universally what's going on.
Yep. And here you can really see this and this. Look at the intensity of this little sucker. This thing is hot.
But no, not only that, Wayne. It's the intensities in the middle, but then it has a white spot all the way around it, like that, not producing light.
Exactly. It tells me that we're seeing either a core and reaction, but this is solid. This is a real object. I don't know what it is, but I know I can see it has a weird effect here.
Yeah, we've been seeing that weird effect for a while, but this kind of a manifestation of, oh gosh, man, that's
so here's the plasma buildup. Here, there is something building up right here.
Right on. I agree.
And there's the result.
Boom.
Boom. Hello. Look at that. Just fascinating.
Fascinating. This is worthy of just putting it up with, having a two-part video on this as we discover colors, and it's only showing one really like monochromatic.
Exactly. You are right. Hello, the Matrix,
Yeah, hello, the Matrix. Exactly.
But look at this, Steve.
And then all of a sudden, Just watch it discharge up on the upper right, everybody. That's what you got to watch for. It starts to, like, there's a connection starting, and then that connection is going to close in, boom,
Boom.
shock. And the next question would be, why didn't everybody in Florida see a big flashbulb flash?
I think they probably did, but they didn't recognize. Listen, if this is possibly in the UV, right?
Right, everybody's wearing sunglasses in Florida.
Exactly. You wouldn't notice it. You know what's quick that it would be a flash, but you wouldn't recognize it. It's this, that there's only 3 seconds to this video.
This is cray-cray.
So your eye, the human optic nerve, would not pick it up, Steve.
Cray-cray. That's my word for it.
I don't know what's going on here. Listen, and just to show everyone, just to close.
Well, we like everybody's ideas. That's why we have these channels, is for people to give their feedback and learn from each other. And that's why we, quite frankly, that's why we come across such compelling footage, is because we work and collaborate as a team with our subscribers. That's how we get to this stuff.
So we're just going to run this now. And let me go up here, and we'll get it out of playback, and we'll just go back to normal speed.
Normal speed. Got it.
So, all right, it's just this quick. You wouldn't, the human optics wouldn't pick that up, Steve.
Yeah, and I mean, just the fact that we caught it was because the camera was open right at the right time, too.
Now, you know why I know this is real? Look at how it hits the fauna. And look what it's doing to the cars.
Yeah, it's like super reflecting off of it.
It is. And again, you would not notice this. It would be so quick that, again, your optics, it would be a flash. Listen, it's like watching a film. Film is 35 millimeter is how many frames per second. And you can't, the human optics can't pick it up that quick. It is.
That's why movie theaters work so well on humans.
It does. So, Steve, this is some of the most compelling evidence, and I do not know what this is, but it's out there, whatever it is.
It looks like some kind of huge gas ball to me.
I think it has an atmosphere as well.
Yeah, but you know what though? This is where all the disinformation comes in. So it's like we see an obvious thing, and now the debate begins. Like, one person will say it's a spaceship, but another person's like, you know what? I don't think that we're going to have to debate this stuff much longer if this kind of manifestation continues.
I want you to watch. So this comes in, and
look at those tendrils. Oh my!
It's just amazing.
Oh my!
And what you can see with this vehicle down here, when he pulls up, watch. Okay, so he's going to pull up here. Okay.
Parks his car.
Parks his car, and look it. We're not seeing anything that's unusual here.
No. Yep. Oops.
It goes, there we go. Look at this. It picks it up on the vehicle.
Right. That is definitely a discharge in the sky that causes a momentary flash of energy and light, UV light.
So people, heads up.
I mean, this is like that big orb there. You're like going, what is that?
Yeah, you would think that one would be excited about this, but what I was excited about was this. It was like, wow, we actually caught a discharge.
Yeah, and thank you again, Teresa Caldwell. Shout out to her, man. This got to me by way of one of my subscribers. Teresa, shouting out to you. Thank you, honey, for this. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.